So I have these potato chips. Some actually just spilled on the ground, but these are salt and vinegar potato chips. This is cayenne pepper. Some cayenne pepper. This is ground ginger. Okay. So this is now just kind of got some salt, vinegar, ginger, and cayenne pepper potato chips. I'm trying to create my own kind of potato chips using more than natural ingredients. I know, like sometimes, like this has it has vinegar and other things in it, like it's potatoes, vegetable oil, soybean, canola, corn, soybean, and or sunflower oil, multidextrin, made from corn, natural flavors. I don't know what natural flavors are. So many different explanations of what, so I have to verify that. Salt, malic acid, and vinegar. I don't know why it has to be like that, but I should put some more flavor on it. I like flavorful potato chips, so I can see the flavor, but I don't want it to be so spicy. Actually, gonna put some more cayenne pepper on there. Put that salt and vinegar on there. Ginger. Tasty ginger, not the vinegar, but not the. Cayenne pepper so much. It's not even like spicy or any of that. It's just it actually blended together. It's exactly how I hoped it would, that I intended for it to. cayenne pepper. And the plain Lay's. These are classic Lay's. It's classic. Lay's classic potato chips. It's 1 ounce bag I have here. And so potatoes, vegetable oil, canola, corn, soybean, and or sunflower oil and salt. I don't know what kind of salt. What kind of salt is in here? Salt? That can mean all kinds of stuff. Ooh, what kind of salt? I'm gonna put some garlic powder. And some ginger. For some reason, this spices I'm getting are kind of like turning into more of a solid. I don't know why they're kind of like getting stuck together. So that's how that is right there. It's about 8:13 a.m. November 4th. It looks like 2025. Put some more garlic in here. I could put some paprika in here too. Yeah. Maybe I can make my own potato chips. Trying to figure out how I don't have the kitchen or like any of the things that I have, but I can be independent and learn how to make my own stuff. But I mean, even if I'm independent in Lay's, I can make. I don't know, but I just I can make my own potato chips. But I'm doing something now. These flavorings are blending together too. And although the spices are in there because of the spices that I chose, they are not overpowered. Like their potency is doing its own thing and not interrupting the taste of the potato chip. My body feels, and that's great. I feel the ingredients that I'm eating. You know, of course, it's a change, but it's a self-identifiable change, of course, that I want and that I can control. And I just feel it. It's great. It's a clean thing. Wondering more about nutrition, hydration. What is real food? Got these potato chips from a country store in Racine, Wisconsin. United States of America, but they are mine. I prefer bigger bags too. That's one thing I also have to say. I want to know, what are the point of these such small bags? Like, I believe that the bag should be bigger. So, like, and what size? Because this is all that comes in there. So the volume, like, okay, of course. But I always have to buy, more potato chips. And I actually get more potato chips if I buy these bags, like, 1 ounce. So 2 ounces is like $1 for if I buy it like this. But if I buy like three ounces, then or like if it's a 4 ounce bag or something like that, it's going to be probably like cost $1 more, like $5. And so I get, for $5, I get 10, so wait a minute, I get 10 ounces of potato chips. So sometimes these are sold for $1 each instead of 59 cents or 2 for $1. So if I purchase it like this, then I get double the amount for the price, perhaps. A 10-ounce bag is probably going to be about $7 or $8 or something like that, maybe. I don't know, but it just really depends. Put some cayenne pepper in here, but it should be more amounts. Put some pepper. It should be more amounts of food. It's really serious. I don't know. It's like these are sample sizes. So much sampling. It's like, when can I really eat? There are no meals. There are just plates of food. There are just options. Or, as some would call it, I don't know why, a la carte or something like that. I don't know. And I like having my stuff individual. I'm gonna put some kosher salt in here. So this is kosher salt, and it's a kind of coarse salt. Driver getting there. See, I like that. Oh, I put it back in there. This is mine. I have this seasoning called Dash. It's a salt-free, and it has dried onion, spices like black pepper, chili pepper, parsley, celery seed, basil, bay, marjoram, oregano, savory, thyme, mustard, cumin, rosemary, cayenne pepper, coriander, dried garlic, dried onion peel, dried carrot, dried tomato, dry red bell pepper, lemon juice powder, citric acid, and oil of lemon. So I'm going to put some of this in there too. Okay. This is what it is. Actually allowing my bodily fluids to flow through. Hydrate. Taste that orange. some color. Oh, this mug, it is bursting with flavor. I had to do that. Oh my goodness. Ooh. So I gotta learn about that. It's almost like it was opening up my tongue. Ooh. Yep. Had the gun. Definitely refreshing my mouth. Freshening my mouth. It's not like spicy hot like that. It's something else. I'm so interested in it. I like thick potato chips. Gotta work my way through this. Oh. Of course, me blowing my nose is how it's supposed to be for me when I eat. Spicy, hot, spicy. So that's that for now. And I'm drinking coffee. Oh my goodness. I'm about to. And I have to wait a while. The coffee is going to taste probably different. So. But this is a taste of these potato chips. Before. Yes, I like being active. And so I like to eat things that I'm going to constantly show that I am alive. I like having wind in my body. I like, like having like pooting and belching, burping, coughing, sneezing, crying, blowing my nose, spitting stuff. And I know that I can do that on my own. But I know that I can learn how to control myself in a way that whatever I'm doing, it looks just as great as I can possibly make it. I mean, I don't have to eat these everywhere I'm at. That's why, there's a plain original, not original, classic. There's a classic potato chip. I like salt-free potato chips too. Nothing on it but just a fried potato. Definitely tasted garlic. And, with it having so much flavor, I don't have to worry about washing down the flavor because there's so much in there. I can just do what I want to do. So I like a very rich food. Like very rich products. So important. Very important. The coffee tastes like coffee. So I did good with mixing it. How I have the ingredients. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. The ingredients actually hydrate, so I didn't have to worry about that. And that's why I like natural ingredients because they hydrate. It's their hydration. So it's great. Pour some. I'm gonna make coffee. I don't know how to get the seed. What the heck? Where it cut from? Yes. Okay. I want to drink my coffee while it's hot. And I have more potato chips in my bag. And I kind of, yeah, that's just kind of, that's that though. I just want to do a little something for myself. And I like to have my own taste and things, of course. I like steam. I'm really just so interested in developing and just being exactly who I am, learning. Life is important to me. I plan to always live. And so I have to make sure that whatever it is, I know how to handle it. Because sometimes when someone does something and it makes them like a little sleepy or something like that, I mean, I have to be able to, I mean, if someone make a sign like, hey, I'm not sleeping forever, I'm just sleeping like, just sleeping. But some people assume that it's finalization and it's actually not. So careful ingredients are very much important, especially clean ingredients, because someone has to learn how to handle the body. And it's kind of like a chemical warfare at times, okay? And it is, actually. And a lot of people have all these different ingredients, but they change the structure and of how someone's life is, their body. And so, like building blood and having ways and means to not get clogged up. So it's important to have real food because it can constantly push through. And the cycling of just the whole interaction. And so I have to make sure that I'm constantly building blood and pumping blood because I know that energy is important. Oxygen is mandatory too. I like those different spices because it brings out a lot of things like mucus and all kinds of buildup that is formed, because I know that too. I can be more active in my life. And also, I have to make sure that I can do more than form patterns of growth, that I just have natural and substantial activity that is just obvious in my growth. Like it's necessary, mandatory. It's always there. So my vitality is important. But when I spit up like that, mucus like that, that's awesome. That's always a great sign because my body is breathing, and I know that my things are not, and even some foods I eat contribute. I don't eat animal products, so that's one thing, but they're different things, like in an apple or an orange. Like I had an apple earlier today. So there's different things that could perhaps contribute, like that could be something that perhaps at times is necessary, and the nutritional value perhaps of a fruit, like perhaps a vegetable, which would be something like pumpkin or a watermelon, perhaps some spinach and some potatoes. I like sweet potatoes too, and that's just really, really important in the development of roots vegetables. They have so much nutrients. The potato it comes from the root, so it's grabbing all this stuff from the earth or from whatever planet, from the ground, from the soil. It's grabbing it from the soil. And I have to be careful as I study and develop my vocabulary. But the root vegetables hold plenty. For instance, like beets, parsnips, and things like that too. So I could say I'm just growing and doing my own thing, not trying to interfere, in anyone else's doings or their traffic. But I have a say in what I find most important and appropriate. And sometimes it is really rough with me, being who I am. I'm Jasmine Renee Davis. And just knowing that even calendars are different. Like, some people choose to use the same calendar, the same clock, but that's not my reality. That's not all reality. It's just something. Okay, so that's one thing. But sure, it works out in building perhaps relationship, but to establish effective lines of communication when it comes to food and travel and financial growth and accumulating proper documentation and things like that. But I don't eat animal products. So because I don't eat animal products, I don't get a lot of food choices. I don't have a kitchen. I don't have a motor vehicle. So I gotta kind of do what I can with more fresh foods, but also too specific and very particular packaged foods. And for me, I'm not any religious background. I don't have any affiliation. I'm not in any relationships. I'm not a member of any organizations. It's just really, literally me. I know that I have to have time for myself, and I can build and make time for others. Of course, I'm sure, in the event. But I do not have any mandatory obligations to anything other than myself in particular and my interests. And so it's tough for me, and sometimes it is impossible for me to get food choices. So I have been kicked out of stores before. Police have been called on me, and I just try to look at the ingredients and literally find. I use my camcorder and I do the things that I'm supposed to do to make sure that I make it. But it's one thing to know that some places that I go into actually thrive from poverty, and poverty has been more of I would call a factual normal process in a system designed to accumulate the circulation of disproportionate wealth obstacles and transitional inheritance that comes from a controlled environment. And that's saying that it's a lot of food that is being prescribed inappropriately. And so there's a lot of places that are ordering the same stuff, and a lot of people are looking unhealthy. There's a lot of just all kinds of things and ways of looks and, things like that. So that does stand in my way, because I barely can go to somewhere and get, it's like, okay, you have an option for a plant-based thing, but you're still using the same tools, so it's not really that. So you're deceiving, so that's false advertisement. And so I don't really try to be intrusive. I just want to live my life. And so I want to use what I can to develop pathways and roads to my own success, so that I can find different places to make it, and to be able to open my eyes more and breathe better, to be more active, and to achieve ways of developing growth. And sometimes that comes in steps. And sometimes it comes in, ways of not only a structural road, but it could be like a hallway. But really, I'm wanting to keep myself confident in the openness of the things that I have to have. And nutrition is so important to me, because that is what I found of life. I have literally been outside on my own for more than 365 days. Like, seriously, literally. I could just say that, okay? I can say, like, soundly, that I have been outside for more than 365 days and nights. And that would look like trying to locate a star more than just the sun and the moon. And so I'm in an area of comprehension where I know that I can thrive from the energy from a rainbow. But it's not a lot around here like that, okay? And so even going to Kenosha, Wisconsin, it's, it's the same kind of, it's because I'm there and I'm looking for the same thing for myself. It's different places, but I'm knowing that it's different, but I'm knowing what I'm choosing and I'm wanting, but there's not a whole lot of stars in the sky. But for me, I have to make sure that I am warm, so like artificial hormones and things like that. When someone gives like a nutrition fact and it says like, oh, there's 0.6 milligrams, and it's not. It could be like 10 milligrams. Who knows how this stuff is being distributed? So I have to be in control of my body. Like if something have like enzymes or things like that, and I look at this stuff, I read it, I'm really interested in knowing like, okay, so with the cells and the productivity, enzymes kind of create us, they're like involved in a cell within a cell. And in a place as such as like Wisconsin, okay, so it's November 1st, 2025. Okay, that's what it appears. That's what this specific calendar is. I don't know the name of the calendar exactly. I don't want to misinterpret it, but it gets cold outside. And so from what I've read, and that's why I would like to be more interested in learning about creating my own foods and understanding about seeds and different environmental structure, and as far as like ingredients and what is like the bioengineered calculations and things like that. But and so if there's an overflow of enzymes to boost, whatever, I'm going to be more cold. Just because that's how it is. So it's almost like a seasonal vegetable. or like a seasonal fruit. And so I have to be careful to be prepared for whatever I'm eating. So it's not like a drug, but I have to be physically fit. So I have to make sure that I have the proper clothing. Or like as I was eating, I said, oh, I taste the garlic and I taste this. I have to be able to control myself and to make it through. I don't have any disease. I don't have any infections. I care for myself. I believe in myself. And I pay attention to what my body is doing because I know that it's all life. So all of my life I form within me and I use it. I want to have my body and grow my body. But a part of that is to make sure that I'm appropriately knowing how to handle whatever comes my way. So if I'm doing things and I'm going through all kinds of situations, I have to be aware of whatever it is that I'm doing at pretty much all times. Like even through the night, even through the day, I'm constantly on the go in some kind of way. And I just look at the situation and I have to figure things through. So I want to make sure that I have consciousness and that things are appropriately known as conscientiously, because of my confidence in myself. And so when I'm putting these things together and I'm doing all these things, it's not only because I want to eat, because I have experienced starvation, literally, because I've tried to, earn money. I'm not on public aid or any of that stuff, okay? And so I literally want to take care of myself and learn how to get to wherever I'm getting on my own. I want to know the path to it. I want to know everything about it. I want to be involved in all of my things. I want to know about everything that it is. I want to have a fulfilling life. And the only way that I can do that is if I understand who I am, what I'm doing, what things are about, and how to manage my stuff, and I could say like properly. Nutrition facts is inappropriate, and a lot of times a fact now I can read somewhere is not even 100% true. Facts is not true in some areas, but it's not theory. But it's more of a nutrition theory. And I'm not a statistic. This is an actual thing that I am doing in my life because I actually care. I want more for myself. I want to feel great. I want my hair to grow more. I want my hair to grow. Wherever I have hair, I want more of it. I want everything that my body has for me. And a lot of stuff people have developed because people are ashamed. There's a lot of hidden colors. There's a lot of commercialization. Like, there's a lot of nationalities where people are trying to say, well, marketing strategies and tactics. Like, okay, this person is developed because of this, and this person is like that because of that. And so there are a lot of things that are being prescribed to, and they're not properly labeled. And that is very inappropriate for me, because I don't want to get caught up in a vicious scheme that I did not agree to. So I don't know how to get out of it. And I didn't even know that I was supposed to be in it. And I'm not supposed to be in it. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So just to be able to find food, I wonder, what is real food? Because there's a lot of blind study and clinical trials that are happening and these types of things. When someone is saying 2,000 calories a day is used for general nutrition advice, calories, that comes from people that are living at a very low type of life, where I want to be more energetic. I want to have life, and I want to continue to grow. So I'm not going out. I'm coming in. If that makes sense. And it does to me. So I'm living, not dying. Calories are energy products. And some people won't drink like coffee, but caffeine naturally comes from coffee beans. But some people make decaffeinated coffee, which still has some kind of caffeine in it, of course, but they dilute the coffee bean dramatically. And it becomes a critical situation. But a lot of people are trying to stay at less. So people have to learn how to suffer because of the food choices, because that is all that is available, and it's like it's normal. And so some of the stuff actually numbs the body, and it causes to not have feeling to, it's like, oh, okay, first time I eat this, and now it's the 10th time, it doesn't affect me as much. Okay, so now it's time to switch it up, because I want to always be able to feel. And so there are things like immunizations and different things that would actually put someone's body into a rapid growth this way, that way, and the other. But really, to have perhaps a combination that has been derived for so many, probably centuries, to create whatever in a laboratory or whatever the situation is, like bone growth. I know that bones can continue to grow. I see it with my own feet, with my own life. I find that I've gotten a little taller. And I believe that because I look at myself. I look how I wear my shoes. I look at how I feel, my teeth, like just different things. But some things are transplanted or planted in some stores that would cause, like, someone who is ordering, like perhaps a politician or a store manager, or someone who has a large investment, like a leader or anyone, maybe there could be just someone that is a customer. I'm not a customer. I'm just my own self. And for me, I'd rather say I'm independent than say a customer, because I cannot be a part of your customs. I'm not in anyone's family. Their cultures, their subcultures, all of those different things are very important, actually. But it's a change. Like, they put a story, okay, well, usually someone has to be about, like, they say the height is, they have a height and a weight. So they're saying about 5'7" for someone who may have been identified as a female, and about 5'10" for someone that has been identified as a male, and about 140 pounds for a female, and maybe like 180 pounds for a male. And then, if you want to talk about children, of course, then you go and look at that, and there's different sizes. So a baby being born, I believe, should be able to even come out at like 20 pounds. Some babies are coming out like 6 pounds and 3 pounds and all these different things. But and I know that probably seems like it's unrealistic, but if you're getting a proper nutrition and the body is able to stretch out and grow properly, the body is one. But instead, is hearing to all kinds of other things, those artificial things that are supposed to come naturally, like endorphins. And so if someone is getting that stuff in their packaged foods and their beverages and all those different things, it's going to cause a change. And I know that. And that is not an action. That is a reaction. And I'm gonna keep it real. I don't want my body to have to react to things. No, I want a natural experience in my life. Natural action, natural activity. But when that happens, and I involve myself in realistic things, like for instance, if I was to cut up a potato, use the same ingredients that were put in those bags of Lay's potato chips, and plus the ingredients that I had, and perhaps cook them. I cook one way in oil, like perhaps avocado oil. One way in stone oven. One way perhaps in an outdoor oven and an indoor oven. Do whatever form of whatever, however I cooked it. They're all going to taste the same, and those seasons and those spices and those ingredients and those artificial chemicals are going to try to figure out whether they're going to come alive in my natural chemicals in my body, or they're going to try to destroy my natural chemicals in my body through consistent cell growth. So my body is everything that I do, I feel. My body has sound, and my body has energy, and so everything is going to come together appropriately. But if I am not careful, then it is a problem. I want to come further alive. So I understand that if I open up a bag of chips and I put my own ingredients in it, that's on me. But what is in the ingredients to begin with? You cannot say that it's guaranteed fresh if you're relying on 5% of this and that, and really, if a machine is making it and you're not putting your dropping and measuring everything in there, you don't know what it's going to really do and what it's going to be. I purchased Lay's potato chips from one place, and the salt tastes totally different than the salt that I taste in another place. And so some places come from different laboratories and different factories. And so they're using, and then when you all say things like a like and or all these things, why? I mean, that is being irrational to me. That is not being fair. But it's only protecting you, and I have a choice whether or not I can spend the money in a place where there's a food desert. And the safest thing for me to, I don't want to say the safest thing, but the most reliable thing for me to do is buy $20 or, $15 worth of potato chips, because I cannot walk to a restaurant around here and get clean food and have, it's like I have to have those empty calories or I'm just going to be completely empty. And so when I'm looking to someone else to make sure that I can give them money for a service, but not to serve me, I have proper expectations, and that means like I can release my hunger. I can release the pressure of having a food insecurity. I don't have to create a developmental disability. I can know that there is poverty all around me, but I have a chance to just have something to eat so that I can gain energy. I have been out here for more than 365 days and nights. And I know how it feels to bleed blood at least once, sometimes twice a month. And that is great. I'm so happy. And a lot of times it's dependent on what I eat. But I know how it feels when I have not eaten something, or when it's been an empty calorie and I have to get up and walk. And if I have to urinate, I'm eating something and I'm drinking something and I'm urinating 10 times. And so now all of my nutrients have went into a bucket or a toilet. And now I have to find food. So my food is only like time release. And so I have to keep buying it and finding it. It's not, and if I eat stuff that's going to stick to me, it's going to be inappropriate because it's going to clog my arteries and clog my, I can say arteries and things like that. But it's going to prevent constant natural flow. So when I want to sneeze and cry and spit up things and want, vomit and stuff and poop regularly, urinate, it's not going to happen much often. And that's how a lot of times, literally, I've went and sat on the toilet for even 1 hour, and the police had been called when I was going into a grocery store to shop, because people around here do not understand that if someone is eating a nutrient-rich food, that their body is going to be super active. And in a slavery-like condition, that is unacceptable. So I'm in my own type of environment. But I know how it is to have weakness because I don't have real food. I don't have proper food, and I don't have the money. And so I have to add to a lot of things to try to get what I'm looking for as fresh or raw as I possibly can. I cannot carry around celery and apples too long and all those things like spinach and lettuce and things like that, hummus or whatever, too long, because it's going to, I don't have anything to keep it properly. I pull my wagon or I carry, whatever I can in a book bag or whatever. But I have seen what real nutrition does, and I've had over 365 24 hours. So if I put that on a time clock, I am very experienced. And so I am the only expert on just me. I can't say that I can use my studies to develop something for someone else. But what I can say, I can use it to independently grow for myself and just create something for just me. And so that comes at, of course, a price, I'm sure. But I cannot get up and work and do things if I am weak. And a lot of times, a lack of nutrition is being disguised as a sickness or an illness, especially when people believe that they should only look like this ideal being, that it should be pictures of it all over the place, and it's not. I have a choice, and I want to be myself. I am Jasmine Renee Davis, JASMINE space RENEE space DAVIS. My date of birth is June 12, 1986. And I'm happy with who I am, okay, as best as possible.